So now that we have our paddle up and running, let's start working on the ball. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take and paint ourselves a new sprite, or I can go find one, but I'm going to paint one because it's easy enough to draw this ball. I'm going to make our ball, no, we'll make it blue. That's a nice color, blue. Okay. And the outline's black, that's fine. I'm going to zoom in using Control scroll wheel. And I'm going to hold the Shift key. That's going to force this circular. And that looks like a good size. Again, just like before, I want to take and bind it to the center of the canvas. So the center of my ball is the center of its object. So 0, 0 is right here inside the middle of the ball. That looks pretty good. I can now take and go to my code. Next thing I'm going to do, I need this guy ball. So the first thing we need to do is we need the ball to keep moving. So we're going to grab a control block or a flag block. We're going to go grab go to position. We're going to go 0, 0 when we start. And we're going to point, in this case, we don't want to point 90. We want to point going upwards. So we're going to take and grab the direction piece, and I'm going to turn it to not straight up and down, but like 10 degrees or so. There. So it's going to point, start off always pointing up there. We can add some variation later, but we're going to start just pointing somewhat upwards. Now we need our forever loop. So control, forever, and this is what the ball's going to do. Let's take and grab a thing. Let's move some number of steps. We'll start with like 5. And then there's an option here for if on edge, bounce. Let's try it. Oh, my code here is there. We're going to change this back over to like, let's do 9. In this case, I don't want a nice round number. I want a very nice number. That looks pretty good. Now we have to write some code to handle hitting the paddle. So we're going to create a second parallel loop that's going to look for the paddle. So we're going to go and control. We'll do it forever. Ooh. Inside there, we're going to throw an if. And under sensing, we have an option to look for touching other objects. So touching is a mouse pointer. Let's drop that down to paddle. If it's paddle, we need to turn 180 degrees. So we're going to point in direction. And we're going to grab our math. We're going to do 180 minus our current direction. So let's test this out. Good. Kind of boring, but it works. I can miss the paddle. We'll have that later. Now, this is where we can start really playing with things. So if I want let's make it so instead of just pointing there, we're going to take and we're going to turn a random direction, or turn a little bit. So we're going to go turn, and we want to add some randomness in here. So we're going to go operators. There's a tool. We're going to pick a random number between -20 and +20. Let's test it out again. Notice I keep testing every step of the way. Now the ball doesn't always go exactly the same angle. So that's starting to look better. We can also add ourselves a sound at this point. So I'm going to go to Sounds, play. We're going to say Start Pop Sound. Actually, we'll do it on the start of the function. And now let's run it. If I want to add that sound, it's very easy to go to things, or I can change this from drop down. There's some pieces I can record sounds. If you do that, you're going to have to use another tool. Make sure you have headphones that have a microphone input. You can also directly modify the wave. So we now have a very basic game. We just have to handle stopping the game, and we'll handle that in the next video.